Brother Liltwater of the Cosmic Ditch. Brother Liltwater believes he was chosen by the Great Ripple. Not a god exactly, but a sentient vibration in the puddle of eternity. He discovered this calling one afternoon when he dropped his sandwich into a mud puddle and saw his reflection ripple out into infinity. Ever since then, he's been preaching about the gentle swirl, a doctrine no one quite understands, not even him. He wears flowing white robes with stains that he insists are sacred geometries revealed through mustard. His voice is calm, breathy, and constantly trying to sound deeper than his vocabulary can support. When he speaks, he often trails off into silence and then looks around expectantly, as if waiting for the universe to finish his thought for him. Sometimes it does, in the form of a bird's squawk or a car horn, and he nods reverently. He has a small group of followers, 5, sometimes 7, if you count the ones on sabbatical. They gather in an abandoned laundromat they've renamed the Temple of Eternal Cycles, sitting in a circle around a broken washing machine that Brother Liltwater claims is the mechanical heart of the infinite. Every Thursday evening, they perform the rite of soapy transcendence, which involves spinning in place while humming to the rhythm of the old coin slot. His rituals often feel almost meaningful. There's an echo of something real, some accidental alignment between his nonsense and an actual mystery. His followers weep, sometimes. Something does happen, just not what Brother Liltwater thinks. He believes they're cleansing ancestral echoes. They're really just hyperventilating. He often says things like, "The cosmic detergent does not remove stains. It reveals their wisdom. And the infinite spin cycle is but the trembling breath of God on delicate setting." He is absolutely certain that someday the ripple will return in the form of a great bubble, and when it does, he will be lifted to the drain of knowing. Despite his illusions, Brother Liltwater is somehow endearing. There's something so earnest, so guileless about his ambition to be profound. He tries to scam people, yes, selling bottles of charged rain essence that's clearly tap water, but then gives most of the money away to stray cats because they were here first. He has never desired nor tolerated sexual advances from his followers. The very idea makes him queasy. He apologizes for this, sincerely. He once said, "I am married to the concept of moisture. Anything more carnal would dilute the message." When his flock inevitably dwindles, he feels both heartbroken and mystically justified. "The ripple retracts before it expands," he sighs. And then, as if on cue, 1 or 2 newcomers drift in, enchanted by his soft voice and fluttering gestures. And the cycle begins again. He will go on like this for years, leading almost enlightening rituals, misunderstanding every divine sign, and somehow, in spite of it all, touching something real without ever knowing it. The rite of soapy transcendence. The Temple of Eternal Cycles had once been a laundromat. You could still faintly make out the outline of the old neon sign above the doorway. Suds in stuff, with the Z and half of the N still glowing weakly on certain humid nights, as though haunted by the ghost of discount detergent. Inside, the smell of lavender softener lingered under the must of disuse. The floor tiles had long since yellowed, and the machines stood like old sentinels of domestic penance. In the very center sat one broken washer, its enamel body chipped, its coin slot jammed forever open. Brother Liltwater called it the Great Revolver, and he spoke to it as though it were both deity and friend. Tonight, the small congregation had gathered again, 7 of them, cross-legged on a ring of mismatched rugs, their faces half lit by the flickering fluorescent light above. Brother Liltwater stood before them in his flowing white robe, which might have once been a bedsheet, and raised his arms like a conductor about to summon rain. "Beloved swirlers of the ripple," he began, in his gentle, breathy tone, "tonight we descend into the rents." He paused, letting the words hover in the air, waiting for them to deepen on their own. They didn't. Somewhere in the back, someone coughed. "Every bubble that bursts," he continued, undeterred, "returns to the puddle, and so must we. But before the bursting, there must be." He searched the ceiling for the next word. "The agitation." Marna, the youngest of the group, and the most excitable, lifted her hand. "Do we hum again, brother?" "Indeed we do, Sister Marna," he said, nodding gravely. "We hum the sacred tone of release, which is, He closed his eyes, feeling for it in the air. "Roughly between an F sharp and a feeling of mild forgiveness." He began to hum, a trembling, uncertain note that sounded a little like an old refrigerator starting up. One by one, the others joined him, until the room filled with a chorus of strange, earnest notes, off-pitch but full of devotion. And then, something curious happened. The Great Revolver began to hum as well, its motor rattling to life. In some long-forgotten echo of purpose, Brother Liltwater's eyes flew open, shining. "Do you feel that?" he whispered. "The machine has joined us. It knows." "It's just the wind," Tomas said quietly, ever the cautious realist. "The wind is the vent, Tomas," Liltwater replied, as if unveiling a revelation. "All vents lead to the source." He placed a reverent hand on the washer. The metal groaned. A knob clattered loose and rolled across the floor. For a moment, the spell nearly broke, but Brother Liltwater only smiled, soft and beatific. "You see," he said, holding up the fallen piece, "it sheds its attachments, just as we must." He turned back to his flock, eyes shining with paternal pride. "Who among you is ready to release the lint of illusion?" They didn't fully understand, but a few hands rose anyway. That was the rhythm of following Brother Liltwater. Never quite understanding, but wanting to. "Then take your offering," he said, "your symbolic lint, and place it in the revolver." They obeyed solemnly. Marna plucked a bit of fluff from her sleeve. Tomas tore off a piece of tissue. One of the older women added what looked suspiciously like a dryer sheet. All of it went into the Great Revolver, like sacrifices into the belly of some domestic oracle. Brother Liltwater closed the lid and began to turn the broken dial with careful, deliberate reverence. "Now we spin," he whispered. "Not fast, not slow, but in the rhythm of unknowing." They began to turn in place, each follower gently rotating where they sat, humming their uncertain tones as the washing machine clanked in agreement. For a moment, a small, miraculous moment, the air shimmered. Whether it was dust in the light or something truly divine, no one could say. But they all felt it. Something almost profound. Brother Liltwater smiled, serene, lost in his own mystery. He didn't know what was happening, not really. But then, neither did anyone else. And maybe that was the point.